Hi there again, my KO1 friends. All right, so for today for EL content, we're going to talk more about informational books, and we're going to kind of look at one. I'm going to show you a nonfiction book, what an informational book looks like, and we're going to look at all of our text features, all of the things that an informational book has, and we're going to go over it again. And then I'm going to do another read aloud about a informational type of topic, and we're going to talk about how that relates or connects to our informational type reading or books. Okay, so yesterday we made a chart. You can see it's behind me, and it is about informational books. So we're going to be reading more books about a topic, and they are factual books. Remember I said that they are facts, 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 and facts are real life things. So facts are things about science, and facts are things about that you're learning about, like the weather or plants or the atmosphere, the sun and the stars. All those things are fact-based topics or fact-based books, right? Books that are like Elephant and Piggy books or Pete the Cat books or the Mercer Mayer book that I read for crew today. Those are all stories, right? Those are all things that don't have facts in them. Those are just fun stories to listen to. So we're going to look more, of course, at our informational books, so books that tell us good, detailed information about facts. And I just want to show you again, we went over yesterday all the things that informational books have, okay? So the first thing it has is a heading. Notice how on top over there, I put sharks as the heading because sharks is the title of that little section there, okay? And notice how I wrote heading in blue, and then the heading over there is in blue. You see how I matched those? The heading is the top part of the section, right? The top part of the little diagram or of the page, all right? Then it has a diagram. So diagram is like that's shown there, a little picture of something that they're talking about. It's like a picture inside of the big picture, okay? That's usually what a diagram is, all right? And notice how that's written in green. Diagram is written in green, and the diagram up there, I kind of highlighted it in green. I kind of put a box around it in green. So that is a diagram. It's a little picture in a picture, and it shows different parts of things, and it gives more details to the topic that we're talking about, things like that. Then we have labels, and notice how I have labels written in red, and in my little picture up there, in my diagram up there, I have all the little labels in red. I tell you guys all the time, label your pictures. Labels are like little names or little parts to the picture. So we wrote that I did a shark just for an example because Jason was learning about sharks, and I put a little label that says those are his tail, and that's his fin, and that's his eyes and his teeth. So those are little labels, like little tiny words that kind of match to the different parts of the picture, okay? Then I talked about bold words. Bold words are words in the book that are really, really dark, right? So you have the regular writing, and then you have bold words, which are like darker words in the picture. They pop out at you. So those are, and those are usually vocabulary words. So those are words that we learn, things that we might need extra help with if they are in our books or our text. And the last thing I have there that informational books have are captions. And captions are like little mini couple sentences underneath a picture to explain the picture. And notice how I wrote caption in purple, and my caption is underneath my picture. And my caption says, "This is a great white shark." Sharks are big fish. They live in oceans all around the world, okay? So that was my little caption about the diagram that is shown there. So captions are like little mini paragraphs or a couple sentences after a picture, okay? So before we get into our read aloud today, I want to show you something. So I took this book out of Ellie's bookcase or bookshelf, and it's called Solid or Liquid. And this is a really cool science book. And I want to go through this book to try and figure out if this is an informational book or a nonfiction book. Okay, so let's take a peek inside. We're not going to read the book. We just want to look for the features or the little components, the parts of the informational book to see if this matches. Okay, so here we go. Let's open up our book, and I'm going to turn the page. Now I see pictures, but I don't see any diagrams yet. I don't see any bold words. I don't see any labels yet. Let's turn. Okay, still the same thing. Oh wait, I got one. Look at that. What does this page have that I have on my list back there? You're right, my friends. It has a bolded word, and that word is liquid. That word says liquid. And notice how it is a darker color than all the other words on the page. So that is a bolded word. That's a vocabulary word, something that we have to, keep in our heads. It's very important for later on. Okay, let's keep turning the page. Let's see. Oh, there's another bolded word. And another bolded word. Lots of bolded words in this book. Another bolded word. I haven't seen any diagrams yet. I haven't seen any headings yet. But that's okay. They don't have to have all of the features that I wrote down. It just has to have one or two of them. That's another bolded word. Okay. More bolded words here. See that? Bolded word. Oh, wow. Okay. So then at the end of our book, we have lots of, so this actually shows us details about all the words that were bolded in the pages, right? So the back of a nonfiction book or the back of a informational book has questions sometimes, and sometimes in the beginning of the book, it has information about the book, questions about the book, has a title page, okay? So these are some things that we should look for in a nonfiction or informational text, okay? So now we're gonna switch to our read aloud for the day. This is actually a really cool read aloud. It is about a enormous turnip. Sorry, my husband is trying to kill a bug. So if you hear banging, don't think anything is wrong. All right, guys, my KO1ers here. So we're going to read this book, and it's called The Enormous Turnip. And The Enormous Turnip, there's factual information in here. But you know what, friends? I don't know if it has a heading or diagram or labels. I don't know if it has all of those components. So let's check it out. Let's read it, okay? The Enormous Turnip. I don't know. Looks like this thing is quite big. Rolling or. Once upon a time, there lived a little old man and a little old woman. One day, the little old man planted some turnip seeds. One of the turnips grew. And grew. And grew. Until it was enormous. The little old man pulled and pulled and pulled, but still the turnip would not budge. My goodness, they're pulling it and they're pulling it. So the little old man and the little old woman shouted to a boy who was playing in the field. Together they pulled and pulled and pulled, but still the turnip would not budge. So the little old man, the little old woman, and the boy shouted to a girl to help them. Together they pulled and pulled and pulled, but still the turnip would not budge. So the little old man, the little old woman, the boy, and the girl shouted to the little old man's dog to help them. Together they pulled and pulled and pulled, but still the turnip would not budge. So the little old man, the little old woman, the boy, the girl, and the dog called the little old woman's cat to help. Together they pulled and pulled and pulled, but still the turnip would not budge. So the little old man, the little old woman, the boy, the girl, the dog, and the cat called the farmhouse mouse to help. Together they pulled and pulled and pulled, and suddenly out popped the enormous turnip. The little old man was very pleased. He invited everyone around for a turnip dinner. There was a lot of people that had to pull that turnip out of the ground. I'm not so sure that it took that many people, but it definitely did. Okay, so my friends, I think this is the last page. So this is not necessarily hold on 1 minute, guys. Yeah. So this is not necessarily a book that has all of these features back here that are nonfiction, right? But it is a story that gives facts, right? So we know that turnips grow from the ground because it showed them growing from the ground. We do know that the stems kind of pop out from the ground and you have to pull it out of the ground. What else do we know that we saw there? We know that you have to plant seeds first to start the turnip to grow, right? So there's little pieces of facts that are in there, but it's not 100% an informational book, okay? It's not 100% a nonfiction book. It's a little bit of fact and a little bit of story, okay? So I want you to kind of get used to the difference between the two. I'm going to show you the difference as the days go on this week, okay? So my loves, for today, you have 2 silly questions to answer. Your first question to answer, we're going to go over the informational writing process tomorrow, okay? So for today, you have a question to answer, and I'm going to write it for you. If you could be a fruit or a vegetable, which would you be and why? Okay, so this is your EL content assignment for the day. If you could be a fruit or a vegetable, which would you be and why? Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of what I would be. Okay, I'm going to be I actually don't, oh, you know what? I know what I'm going to be. I'm going to be a fruit, and the fruit that I picked to be is an apple. And the reason I want to be an apple is because I want to grow on a tree, and I want to have a flower first before I become a fruit. And then I know that I'm nice and crispy and juicy for when people eat me, so I really want to be an apple. So you see how I gave you 2 to 3 reasons why I want to be an apple? So I need you guys, just like you wrote in your opinion writing, this is kind of like an opinion question. I want you to think about what fruit or vegetable you would be and why. Do the best you can with the writing, draw a picture to match, okay? And just so you know, for your informational writing that you're going to do, we're going to talk about the life cycle of an apple, okay? The life cycle of an apple tree, all right? And I'm going to show you lots of fun things, okay? So I'm just letting you know that that's what we're working towards for Friday. But today, just think about if you want to be a fruit or a vegetable, which one would you be and why? So write that down for me, send it on over, and that is your EL content for the day. That's your assignment for the day. Bye for now, my friends. See you soon.